Hello, I'm Father Jim Kubicki. I'm the president of St. Francis Mission on the Rosebud Reservation in western South Dakota. And this year we've been able to accomplish many beautiful things. I've been here since July 29th, and I've been able to see the hardworking staff in action. And I'd like you to meet them now and to hear some of the stories that they have to tell about the wonderful work they've been able to accomplish because of your prayerful and financial support for St. Francis Mission.
Well, we had a huge summer. Starting June 1 all the way through August 1, we virtually had a clinic every single day. We hosted the University of South Dakota dental hygiene students for 3 weeks straight. After that was the Creighton Dental School. University of Indiana this year came for 2 weeks. We even worked on the 4th of July. This year. A number of volunteer dentists through the state of South Dakota also came through the summer. And traditionally, we would never have anything in August. And this was our first 2 August clinics. We had 2 small ones back to back. So that's growing. Always a challenge in recruitment. We're getting nervous now for our upcoming 2018. Right now I only have 6 actual confirmed clinics for 2018, but that usually changes pretty quickly. But nonetheless, I get nervous when we don't have very many out there. So we're doing a lot of recruitment right now, now that it's a little bit of downtime, sending out emails, phone calls, to past volunteers that have been here. We just had a good article come out with the South Dakota Dental Association newsletter. We're trying to plan a huge event for April of 2018. This was our first year we hosted University of Nebraska dental student for 3 weeks. The next rotation is April 9th through the 27th, and I just had word that at least 1 student is interested and possibly up to 3 for a 3-week time period. So what we're trying to do is also in that 3-week time is create a pediatric clinic one of the 3 weeks, either to bring in the pediatric residents from University of Nebraska during that week, our South Dakota dental providers who are pediatric dentists during that week. The North Dakota Dental Association Executive Director is a pediatric dentist who's probably coming that week. I have made contact with the American Academy of Children's Pediatric President, and she might come for the whole 3 weeks of that April rotation, but we're trying to create a national event. At that same week's time, we want to also host the Delta bus or buses. So it would really show and encase our collaboration with North Dakota State Dental Association, South Dakota State Dental Association, Delta Dental of South Dakota, and getting some video footage to put out on a national network. To really enhance our collaborative efforts and really what it takes to pull this off. I just recently went to our local tribal council, and out of the 13 members that were there, out of 20, over half of them were very supportive of our services and what we do, and attempting to try to help us find a pool of money to potentially recruit and have a dentist here full-time, to go to that next level, freeing up some more time to be more aggressive in our recruitment activities. Anytime I have a moment, I look on different websites. I found the Christian Dental Society today and a number of email addresses that I'm going to make a personal plea to those individuals just to let us know that we're out here and what we're doing. I tried to enhance to our tribal council and any other individuals that it really does take a village. It takes a community to really change the epidemic dental situation that we have here, of all parties working together to address and increase our access to care and try to be impactful and curb this epidemic we have currently going on.
So overall, 2017 sounds like it was a full year.
Full year. I think that in our fiscal year of the mission, I believe that we did 23 clinics. And that's a far cry from the 6 days of clinic back in 2012. We progressively continued to improve. 2012, we had 6 days of clinic, 2 dates. 2013, we went to 6 weeks, and then we went to 10 to 15, and now the latest was 23 active clinics within that 1 year time frame. I'd say probably a minimum of 80 days total.
That's incredible.
Minimum,
That's not a small number.
yeah. Because probably 10 of those clinics were at least 4.5 days. And then the variable always is there one dentist there, or do we have all 5 of our chairs going? So there's just really a mixed bag of, how many we see. Significant production increase when a dentist comes with a hygienist. Sure. It almost doubles the amount of production. So we're trying to work that angle as well. In our fiscal year, starting July 1 to present, to the end of the fiscal year of June 30th of 2017, there had to have been over 200 volunteers, and that would be dental students, the supervisors, the dentist, any auxiliary staff that they brought along with us. And the individuals who come from out of state, for the most part, when they come, they spend 4 to 5 days. We have a gentleman coming back, I think this will be his 5th year, who comes here from Rhode Island for a week every year. We last year hosted a dentist from Kentucky. Her and her assistant came, and we recruited a hygienist from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And within 2 weeks after they left, they had an awesome experience. And they're already signed up to come back this May already, the same group of 3. And we're going to continue to try to build on that. When the dentist from Kentucky was here, we got them in touch with a local individual outside of town to do a traditional sweat. And they were both a little nervous about going, well, if you go, I'll do it, And the day came that it was time to go, and they were still a little nervous or skeptical. And that evening, probably maybe an hour after they got out of the sweat, I got email message that was the most awesome experience I've ever had in my life, and that they were so thankful and grateful that they had that opportunity to do it. And they definitely are coming back, and they're definitely going to participate again as far as really getting to know the culture and the community itself when they come back. And I think that's one of the bigger things that we can attempt to offer is that community spirit. That our patients here are pretty open and very receptive to outsiders that have interests and questions about the culture and the traditions of our reservation. And I think that's one real drawing point to get those individuals to come back as that community event. Well, it's a challenge to count it by patients alone. Patient encounters is more realistic because oftentimes you might see 1 or 2 providers the one day that you're in clinic. You might actually have 3 different appointments that day that you're there at the clinic. We started you out with a exam, then you got your teeth cleaned, and then after your teeth got cleaned, somebody in the regular schedule didn't show up, so you got another appointment. So it's really challenging without a lot of time-consuming work to try to figure out how many patients per se. So we kind of go by patient visits. Usually our student clinics, where we have a minimum of 5 chairs going for 4 to 4.5 days, each of those student rotations, we will see 60 to 80 patients. And it doesn't appear that it's a lot because the students are so slow. Usually a new patient visit, I schedule an hour. With a student clinic, it's double that. And that's just the reality of increasing your skill set and, time. But we have over 1,900 patients of record. I think the last count was 1,978 patients that are in our database. Out of that 1,978, there's probably only 20 to 30 that are guarantors of their child's account. That parent is not an active patient with us, but their child is insured under them, but they're included in that calculation of the 1,978. So in reality, we have over 1,940 patients that have made contact to us to make an appointment or have been seen. We still have our struggle with failed and broken appointments. We just recently went through those 1,900 patient profiles, and any patient who was either just seen only on an emergency basis, who had never been seen here before, they missed or failed an appointment, or those patients of record whose exam was over January of 2016, we inactivated them because their exam is too old to continue to carry on that work. It's not realistic that it's correct and accurate guide to go by. So we inactivated probably 1,200 individuals. And the reason that we did that is moving forward in trying to get secure a dentist to be here all the time, we have to show that we had inactivated 1,200 patients. We have over 300 and some thousand of diagnosed treatment plans on those 1,200 patients that we could not get to because we don't have somebody here all the time. So now currently in our database, we have around 700 patients who are active that have current records within that defined time frame, and it's right about the same amount of money, about $400,000 in diagnosed treatment that needs to be completed on that database of 700. We've seen many patients that have come through 3, 4, 5 years that they've had their exam, and we've actually completed their treatment on them. So it can show success that if we give them the access, people will come in, they will get their treatment done, and the next year, it's not starting over. There's only maybe 1 or 2 things that we need to do for them, and we can keep them updated and current in their dental health. So the numbers game is really kind of a challenging thing for us to get out there because the uniqueness of our situation, it is tough for a group, an entity, an institution to fund us at the level we need to be funded at because we have nothing to prove what our resources could be, what our revenue could be, because we've not had it ever one time. So it's only speculation. So it's just going to take a leap of faith from one group, one entity, to give us that funding opportunity for a 1-year time period for us to really show what we potentially could do here in day-to-day operations and increase and improve our volunteer recruiting. I truly believe that if we had more flexibility of time for recruitment, that we could get it to the point that every week of every month of every year, we could potentially have a volunteer clinic here in some capacity. And that's all free dental services.